member of PFM, we don't listen to the same music. We don't love the same music. Each one of us like some music, some sort of music. Personally, I love jazz or classical music. Franz is more into classical music and rock and roll. Someone else is more into something else, you know. But what's great with PFM is we have very much respect one from the other. And if one of us comes out with an idea which comes from his background, his personal background, we always listen to him. We always listen to each other, because this is how PFM did so many kind of different music, because it comes from the music each one of us has inside. This is how we could do Jet Lag, which is a jazz album, and we could do PFM in classic, which is a
and
classical,
grow up, and we grow up,
classical album, you know. It is
and we grow up. I think sometimes the PFM music is like a rainbow. There's a lot of colors, things coming, mixing. That's how
nice metaphor. It is. Now, I was going to mention a couple. Well, first, Franz, I wanted to ask you if the song that you liked Phil Collins singing solo is "More Fool Me." Remember the song? That's the one song that they played on "Selling England by the Pound." The guitar and Phil singing only.
Penso che solo la chitarra e Phil Collins cantavano.
One for me.
One for me.
Non mi ricordo.
Can't remember that.
I can't remember.
No, the song that he said to Phil Collins that he liked.
Probably was there, you know.
Okay.
And I was. If he sung it on stage by himself, you know, it's probably that one.
I guess that Phil Collins don't remember that my song is called Dove e Quando.
Possibly not. And there's a connection between this occasion. What year was that when you played with Genesis? When and where? When and where?
When and where? Yeah.
No, dove che abbiamo suonato quando e qua?
Abbiamo suonato quando sono venuti la prima volta in Italia, non ricordo. I don't remember the years. They come the first time in
Italy.
Probably
72, 73.
Yeah. For the Nursery Crime tour, I guess it was. Yeah, doesn't matter. Now there's this fantastic man that made memories for all the fans. Armando Gallo, is that?
Armando Gallo, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's the magician that captured all those amazing moments that Gabriel and the band offered.
I know him. We know him very well.
I was going to ask you about that relation. In what way are you connected?
We get Armando with us the first time we go in America, and he came with us because he was in England, but it was boring in England. You know, he said, "Yeah, we're going tour in America. You would like to come with us and do the official photographer of us for this tour?" Oh yeah, sure. He did the first photo, fantastic photos, and he decided to
move to America.
from England and came and live in USA.
Yeah,
and still is there. And when we was in America last time, it's 2 years or 3 years ago, I don't remember. We played
in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, we came because we played in the same club. We did the debut, and he was with us. And says, "I can miss this this anniversary, you know, that PFM plays again in
the whiskey.
And the whiskey. That it was a fantastic club.
Yeah, we were very close to Armando for many years.
Did he ever make pictures of you, the band of PFM? I suppose.
Yeah, thousands of them.
Yes, tons of them.
Thousands. He was our official photographer.
The official pictures you have in Cook is
in Cook, you know, it's Armando's pictures.
Okay. Now, Italy has one of the strongest music traditions and worldwide legacy, I should say. Opera, you know, I don't have to explain to you. How did the media receive PFM at first? I mean, did you ever feel things would be better outside Italy? Where were you really more successful at the beginning? Because your music was not easy, I suppose, for the times.
You know, we never really thought of that. You know, we were just it's funny, you know, sometimes you're a band, and when you really like what you do and you have fun doing what you do and everything, you don't really are aware of what's happening around yourself, around the band, you know. So everything for us was normal. It was like we when we came. I mean, for an Italian band to play in the States or to play in England, you know, in London or in those we played at the come si chiama dove c'era la regina lì?
Royal Alberto,
Royal Alberto, places like that. You know, it's amazing for an Italian band to play there, but for us it was normal. But not because we thought it was normal, but because this was just what was surrounding us. But it was not the important thing. The important thing for us was to play. And so whatever happened, it was okay. It just for us, it was okay. We never were amazed. We were never surprised. Everything was just okay. It was cool. We just had when we had problems. Maybe we in the States we had some political problems because of the political matters of the time and things like that. Well, it's okay. We didn't really care, you know. We just wanted to play.
Yeah, also, but because in America we change every night. We change a city. We change a place where we play, and sometimes change also band because in America I used to have top of the bill and 3 bands in a show. This is the opening act. The second band, that is the band important that is in tour with a big one. So we used to play with a lot of bands, and we meet and it was really into the way of life in American style of the music and all the bands. So we was very happy to play in every place. We play in America, wherever, from California to also we play one night we played with ZZ Top, for example.
Oh,
wow. The first concerts we did in the American, it was not in America actually, it was in Canada, I think. Was with
Poco.
No, primo con i cosi.
J Guys.
No, i super famosi, i Beach Boys.
Beach Boys. We play with Beach Boys, we play with J Guys band, we play with
Santana. Many
bands.
But the first one was the Beach Boys, and that was a big hit. I mean, but for us it was normal. We never thought that it
just because you learn something. Every band we had be working with, you know, we just was a story that we have inside us, you know. That's we learn the way to be a musician out of our country. I mean, a worldwide musician, not just Italian. That we learn.
all right. Now, about the structure of the music of PFM, especially the early albums. I don't know if it was, for example, Mauro Pagani who coined the idea of, you know, combining classical with rock and some jazz, or is there any other band members that were classically trained? I think Mauro was.
We all were, in a way. Classical music in Italy is
It's a bread.
It's the music for everybody. You know, we are. When you're a musician, you're always inside. You always get wet with classical music somehow. So we all worked this way. But as I said before, some of us were a little more inclined into jazz music. Some of us were a little more inclined into classical. Some of us into rock. Some of us into world music, although at the time it was very, very, very start of it. And this is what made PFM do all this sort of different music all the time, is that everybody was carrying something and bringing something to the band, you know, bringing something in the middle, say, hey, I had this idea, what do you think of it? Oh yeah, it's great. I had this idea too, so let's put it together and see what happens. And this is how it always worked. And this is why sometimes it's very strange, because it has in the same song classical influence, jazz influence, rock influence, everything together.
Okay.
Hey, you mentioned before 6,000 shows. You must have crazy stories. What are the top two weird things that happen either in South America, in Tokyo, United States, Europe? You got quite after 6,000 shows, a lot of weird things happen, right?
Yeah.
Any one in particular where
Yeah,
or
but
two stories that you can share with the audience here?
Oh yeah, well we have so many stories. Oh, just the first thing which comes to my mind before Franz was saying that we played with ZZ Top once, Well, we had to do three or four gigs with ZZ Top, and ZZ Top was a very different band. It had nothing to do with PFM.
One day we play with Santana, the day after we play with ZZ Top.
Exactly.
You can imagine in our minds that's what happened.
Yeah, but for us it didn't change much, because we had to play like 20 minutes or maybe half an hour because we were playing as an opening act at the time. So we didn't really care that we were just playing the heaviest part of our show, for half an hour. So it was fine with the ZZ Top audience. But once it happened that ZZ Top had a car accident, nothing serious, but they had a car accident and they couldn't get to the show. They couldn't get to the gig. So, but the audience was inside already. Was in the venue, and so the promoter came to us and said, "Okay, obviously we redo the concert and we will refund the tickets and people, or else the people can use the tickets to come to new concerts we'll do with the ZZ Top. But since we are here, why don't you play the whole thing? Why don't you play the whole show?" And we said, "What? No, wait a minute. This is heavy because this is ZZ Top audience. And ZZ Top audience is much different. And to go to sing Dolcissima Maria and songs like that with those ZZ Top audience, it's not that easy." And we just did it. And we did an hour and a half or almost 2 hours of music, and they went great. And the audience was really happy about it. So this is the magic of music, Once maybe you want to listen to something because you paid to listen to something, and for some reason you listen to something else. But if it's good, you just have fun and you just enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed also in the website that you have 3 shows coming up in, I think, March or so, all in Italy. Is there, assuming that the pandemic and the virus will go away, to come back to the United States, go back to South America, Chile in particular?
Yeah, yes. We are planning.
We are planning, but you can do nothing till now, just planning.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going to happen. So but we have contacts with American promoters and things like that. Actually, many contacts in this period.
Yeah.
And so we are planning to go there, and we just can't wait,
For sure, we like to go and play with the people that we like.
Yeah.
So if there is the occasion to do the concert, we get a fly and we come.
Yeah, the only problem is that, to be able to do that, we think that the pandemic situation must be resolved all over the world.
Yeah.
You can't just resolve it in one country or in 2 countries or 3 countries. We can't just wait until America is okay to go to America. The whole world has to be okay, because this is the worst thing about this problem. It's not a single country. Many times in the countries, they take the problem as a single country for the economic problem, for this and for that. It's not a single country problem. It's a whole world problem. So we have to resolve this problem in every country in the world, and this is what could take a little time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we hope so.
Yeah, sure.
We would like to do that, but now we are doing a new album. That makes us very happy.
Yeah.
Will make us very happy, and this is this is a new situation with the album different from the Emotional Tattoos. So just we have to wait and we come.
Yeah. Remember 2 cities, Washington, D.C. for me, and Santiago, Chile for Christian.
Okay.
They will love it. If you only do 2 shows, you do that.
Keep in touch with Yaya, and she
I will. You bet. You bet.
She knows exactly what
I have to say that
she has to do. You know?
Washington is a great town, and they're both great towns.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very important towns, and very special too. They look like they're very, very, very great. Both of them are very great towns. So I'm sure we'll go there. Anyway, if we go to the States, when we'll go to the States, we'll include a South America tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, otherwise, Christian is going to get mad.
I will.
Go ahead, Christian.
Okay, now I this is funny because I went to my first 2 questions. You know, I began the other way around. So I wanted to ask you about. There's a funny story that maybe you're bored to tell it over and over again, but you haven't told that to us. I think that Isotta Fraccini and Forneria Marconi, and which was Mauro Pagani's hometown, has a story about the bakery and the final name of the band. I first began searching what is the meaning of Premiata. I thought it was a name, or maybe I don't know. So
means awarded Marconi Bakery. That is the meaning. Premiata Forneria Marconi. So the story is this: that we had the name of the band before was called the Quelli. That in English means those. Of course, of those, because the name of the band was them, who, and go on. So we said, oh, we can call the name of the band before PFM is called Quelli. That means those. When we decided to change the music and do a big jump in a music scene, we decided to change name. But we are looking for something different, because everybody at the time in Italy has the name of animals, and the animals was just fucked up, there was no more animals to get the name of. And so we decided to have a special name that means we are
workers, hand
workers of our music. So we want to do something like that means as you do the good bread, and the bread is smell of something, a suggestion that I means. So we said we called a name of something like that. So Isotta Fraschini was a very famous name of a car made, the car Isotta Fraschini. So we're doing names like that.
It was a very special car, very beautiful, handmade car almost.
Handmade car.
Time.
And so we decided, but Isotta Fraschini was not the right situation for the music. So Mauro says that there is a sort of a bakery store. It's called the Forneria Marconi. That Marconi is a very famous name as Giuliano Marconi. But Marconi is just also a surname that some other people have in Italy, just not Giuliano Marconi. And so they decided, it says Forneria Marconi just because make the bread, and the name was amazing. Our producer at the time says, but you have to put something, because we being a session man in Italy, of the top of session men players, because we play for a lot of records of other artists. But we never had the idea to put all our ideas in a band, in a new band, not in Quelli band, but in a new band. So the new band must have a name important. That means I'm doing something with the heads, then it must be very fresh, it must be also taste good. All those adjectives putting in the title, it comes in and this manager says, you just should put awarded, that because you are the best session player in Italy. So do something like to put your image on the top. So we decided to play Premiata Forneria Marconi. But when we went in England, nobody was they make difficult to to speak Premiata Forneria Marconi. They say Premiatine Cone for something like that, not very. And so Pete Symphony says, hey, doing like that, PFM. That's all, The acronym that works very better than Premiata Forneria Marconi.
And I have to say that Premiata Forneria, this Premiata thing, at the beginning of the name of the store or shop, was something which was used pretty often in Italy, and it was a sort of an excellence for a shop. When you had a shop for many years, and you had a very successful shop and handmade stuff and everything, very often it was called Premiata, and then whatever the shop was.
Okay, interesting story. Yeah. Now, about the ukulele that you mentioned, I read, because I have to say that I haven't heard the recordings. You were doing cover versions of people like Michel Polnareff and Aphrodite's Child. And then you went to work with Mina and Lucio Battisti. And then you came with that. You came out with Impressione di Settembre, which was, the beginning of it all. Do you have any memories about the going from one moment to the other in your story? I don't know if the story if the question is clear.
Yeah. It happened like, okay, the Quelli were, as musicians and as a band too, were very requested by other artists to play in their records. We didn't do just Battisti and Mina. We did most of the Italian biggest artists of the time. PFM is playing. At a certain point, like in the 10 records in the charts, we played in 9 of them. So once at a certain point, we said, hey, we should just now that this new music is coming out and we have the opportunity to do something different, maybe it's the time has come that we play our music and we play what we want to play. And this
no more covers and no more covers, but our music, changing a name. I get this decision because I want to change my life. We said that, it was the best session means for the discography, for the record companies. But with our record, the covers that you said, that you mentioned before, that was not very satisfied about that, So we said we have to do our music.
Yeah, you don't go anywhere, if you play some other people's music, you just have to play your music. And so this is what happened. And this is why we changed name too, because we wanted to change totally personality. We just wanted to become something else. We just wanted to become what we were supposed to be, and this is why we started with a funny name like Premiata Forneria Marconi, which at the time was very, very strange. I mean, now, after PFM had success in Italy, many bands had names like that, like you said
before. You said before, a lot of bands take a name with very long.
Yeah, so this is what happened because PFM started, but at the very beginning, Premiata Forneria Marconi was a crazy name, But we wanted to start a new start. We wanted a new start, new music. Everything was supposed to be new. And we just tried. And what's funny is that Impressione di Settembre was the B-side of our first 45 single. It was the B-side. The A-side was La Carrozza di Hans, which was more into the music we thought would be ours, but Impressione di Settembre became a huge hit in Italy. So thank you.
Well, there's a story that we have in Chile that's similar to yours, the B-side thing. There's, if not the most, I think it's the most popular classical rock and fusion band, which is they've been living in Italy. During the 70s was Jaivas, and they did this single with Ayer Caché, which means I realized yesterday, and the B-side was Everybody Together, Todos Juntos. That Todos Juntos song is the B-side, and that's what launched their career, and it's almost a second national anthem. It's amazing.
It happens many times. It happens many times.
because of DJs, that happened to me, because I sometimes began playing songs because I liked them, and then everybody wanted to go and buy the record, and that's incredible, the power of playing music on a radio station too. Now, I was going to mention, this is not a question, Patrick and Franz, I'm truly amazed by the interesting and careful combination of colors, the clothes you're wearing with the flowers in the stairs. Is this just a coincidence? The purple type of clothes and the flowers in the stairs are purple too.
Yeah.
How come?
Okay. I'm going to tell you something, a secret now. Our clothes are not purple. They are black, but my camera is fucked up, so we come out with
really
purple. Yeah, we come out with purple, but we're not purple, we're black.
My God, man.
Yeah, but the camera somehow, I don't know why, but
anyway, it's interesting. This color.
The flowers are real. I mean, they're not real flowers. I don't know what they're from, plastic probably, but they are flowers. Okay, they're green. But this is not black. This is not purple. This is black. Sorry to.
The final accident is amazing. Everything is like in a movie.
Right. Don't change the camera. Keep it like that.
Yeah, we keep it like that. It's not the first time it happens. Many times we do interviews or things like that. We play it, and they always say, "Wow, nice color." Yeah.
Well, the last thing first I thank. Sorry?
It's not your teacher yellow anyway.
No, I think it's my kind of goodbye mention. Thank you so much for your time, for the fantastic soundtrack to everyone's lives you've given us along the years. And I had the good luck to work on Radio Concierto FM, which was back in the 70s and 80s the most relevant station. And we had a deal with the BBC. And one of the typical records we would play every now and then was PFM, or Premiata Forneria Marconi, live at the BBC. Do you have any plans to release those recordings?
I think they were released. They were released in the BBC sessions in England somehow. I think you can find them on the YouTube maybe or whatever. Okay. These were something else. It was a very good period for us. We were playing very well, and BBC had a great studio, and so they did the recordings were incredible. And when we did All Grey Whistle Test, the night we did All Grey Whistle Test was the first night they had it live. Before they used to record it, mix it, and then broadcast it. That particular night, that night we did it, that evening we did it, it was the first time that it was live. So we did it live, and it came out just incredible. And they recorded it, and we listened to it after that, and we said, "Wow, it sounds better than a studio, another regular studio," because they are very, very professional, and they really know what they're doing.
And they had, they had bands coming from everywhere. They had the best bands of those days. And is there any filming, any movie of those days?
Sure. Two or three.
Yeah, they are. If you look at them on YouTube, you find them. If you put BBC, PFM, you probably can find them.
But I mean, you're not planning. Is there any chance that you're going to release that officially, or is it a problem?
We can release because it's a BBC property.
Okay. Well, thank you again, Mr. Franz and Patrick. Thank you very much. I hope that you keep playing forever, and I hope to meet you here, because the first time I had my intention of meeting you, but I couldn't. So if you come again, I hope that we can say hello in person. Thank you very much for the time.
It's a pleasure.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. That was our interview with PFM. Thank you very much for your time and for energy, and grazie mille. And we hope to see you. Remember, Washington D.C. and Santiago, Chile. That's a promise.
Washington D.C. It will be nice.
And then I will be in touch with Laura, and I will send her the audio and the recording, so you can keep it for your record. And thank you again for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
See you very soon, I hope.
You bet. I hope so.